Is that possible? Is it possible for me to orientate? Greetings, my beloved Japonaita, and welcome to another glorious episode of A Painting Goo. And I keep looking at me because it just feels wrong to look in a black hole. Anyway, we're back on the phone. The laptop has been left with the female. The laptop has been wrapped up. Oh, speaking Japu again brings me much joy. Right. Okay. I don't have to wait for the people to file in, let me know what it looks like, what it sounds like. We're back on the phone again. Retouch, hide live video, mute, flip, lighting. How's it showing up on your screen? I'm trying to do a horizontal to fit everything in. So we'll see how it goes. Sound is fine. What about the visuals? Obviously it'd be like tilted on your phone or some shit. Can you like... How's it look? Also, let me know if it's inverted. All is good. Excellent. How was your Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas? And a New Year? Mine was a mixed bag, I'll tell you that much. Bit of drama and all that stuff, but it is what it is. Already have good news though in terms of like work and stuff like that. El Pruner Bear wants me to come back and do a lot of work for him, so that's gonna be great. Oh, that's good soup. So when I when I woke up this morning, just to tell you how like shit the fucking insulation in my house is, while I reload my soup. Ooh, chunky. So when I woke up this morning, I had condensation on my beard. Like my mustache and my beard was wet from the condensation. So like I had the heat blanket on. I was fine in the bed. I'm nice and warm and toasty in the bed under the covers. But the whole room was like probably like, I don't know, 1 or 2 degrees or something. I could see my breath. The blanket on top of the bed had condensation on it. It was like fucking cold and wet. It was cold and wet, which I don't know, like the probability of that actually happening, but like the fucking, I kept thinking like, if that gets really wet and then any of the wet gets into the bed and onto the heat blanket, which is powered by electricity, am I creating a situation where I'm potentially gonna electrocute myself while I'm in my sleep? With this house is just so abysmal in terms of not only heating it up, but then keeping the heat in. So fucking shit. So this morning was rough. This morning was fucking rough. But it is what it is. You just deal with it, like, you know. So it's much better now. The rooms are warm. And I no longer have fucking condensation all over myself. But it was like it was just a crazy experience waking up and having like water basically like on my face. Because it was literally just my head poking out of the covers, like, you know what I mean? And I wake up and I'm just like, why am I wet? What the fuck is going on? The whole top of the bed where the blanket is, like, they'll have this like pink, like fluffy blanket like on the bed. And it was like, it wasn't just like damp, like it was wet, you know? And so obviously the differential between like how warm I am under the covers and how cold the rest of the room was, it's just so bad. Like I was there, like I was going mad. Like, you know, I was like, this should be illegal. Like fucking renting a home that's like, you know, gonna make you sick if you're not careful. Like And the mold is back in the toilet, so I'm gonna have to get the old vinegar spray out again. Fucking scrub that shit down. Fucking toilet's like a fucking outhouse. It's ridiculous. Where's the chat? Can I keep the chat up? Is that it? Live chat. There we go. Mine was non-existent. What was non-existent? Oh, it's just crazy. This morning was crazy. Yours was non-existent. What, like Christmas and shit? Do you not celebrate, like, does Jehovah's Witnesses not celebrate Christmas? Aren't you guys Christians? I suppose, though, like, you're like hardcore Christians. You guys probably think Christmas is an insult or some shit, like. Can I keep the fucking chat up? What's going on? That's the crack, Scouts. The chat just keeps, like, fading. But anyway, it is what it is. At least we're streaming, you know? At least we're fucking streaming. Right. Fuck me, that's good. Okay. I got soup all over me now. Not that I give a fuck. At least it's warm. I'm gonna start off with like I have like loads more music now, which is crazy. Even more music. I'm gonna start off with "Welcome Back Defenderoo," which is hilarious. It's like I just had a mad sync there right before the stream as I was looking at the tunes that fucking Stabberoo has made. Got like fucking. I don't know what's in my beard. What's in Defenderoo's beard? Like that fucking. Who's that Pokemon? What's in his beard? Yeah, one of the songs he made is called "Stop the Cycle," and like that was on my mind a lot when I was coming home on the train. Like about like fucking. I don't want to get into it. Like it'd just be kind of depressing and shit. Like, but there was just loads of like drama and like fucking. Me and the female had a fight, and I thought it best for me to just like get home. Not just because I wanted to do the stream with you guys, but that was the other. Skudnik, bah humbug. Yeah. Sorry how wobbly it is. Or hey, the mighty bitey. Careful bending over around humbugs. They like dark places. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with the "Welcome Back Defender" one, and then I'll play "Mighty Bitey," because we're gonna finish this fucker off. Yeah, what's the screen? Is the screen inverted for you guys? Like, is everything backwards, or is it just for me? I'm assuming it's just for me, and you guys are seeing what the camera's actually seeing, which should be normal. I hope so, anyway. But anyway, right. So, hopefully this sounds okay, because I have the it's inverted. Fuck's sake. I had a feeling it'd be like that. I don't know if I can. I don't think there's a. No, it's fine. So it's not inverted? Oh, weird. It's inverted. It's inverted for printer pair, but it's not inverted. You know what I mean by inverted, Stabberoo, yeah? Like it's all like. I know it looks okay, but like this, it's all backwards. You get me? Like, your right side up, no worries. Yeah, I know, but like, horizontally inverted. It's like it's like mirrored. That's because that's what I'm looking at, is like a mirrored version of the stream. Because like, Tobias is to the right of the painting on my screen. Yeah. Fuck. It is what it is. We just have to fucking deal with it for the moment. Like the way I could do it is I could flip it around. Who cares? The gays? I fucking care. I care because like when I look at the fucking like how I noticed was I looked at Mighty Bitey and then I looked at the screen and I was like, Hold on a minute. Like, I fucking care. But yeah, whatever. I'll try not to let it get to me. Like everything fucking else over the past couple of days. But anyway, right, we get the tunes on and we'll try and finish this cunt. Yeah, I hope you all had a merry fucking Christmas or whatever. Faggots. I just want to get back to work, which is hilarious because like Pruner sent me a message and he's like, he's got loads of work there for me and shit like that. So like, I'm probably like, God only knows how 2026 is gonna go. Like depending on how often I'm able to make it down to Pruner and do garden work with him and stuff like that. I might not even be doing that many. Although if I keep doing it off the phone, I could just do painting goo in Pruner's house, which would be epic because I'd be surrounded by paintings. It would be fucking epic, and the views there are crazy. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, right. Let's see what Welcome Back to Fenderoo is like. I can only imagine how bad the sound is. I'm sorry. There's not a lot I can do about it right now. I like how heavy it is though. Right. Brushes all frozen in jars. Streets of Pintingle, grayscale and quiet, like someone dimmed all the stars. Kids trace the shapes in the frost lines, waiting to call like a days. Every black wall just keeps asking, who will bring back all the shades? Welcome back to Fenderoo. Yeah, the chat fucking disappears. So I'm gonna get I'll do what I did last time and I'll get the stream up on the fucking laptop. I just tried to throw 20 in the hat via PayPal, but I'm not sure. Oh. Hey Max, what's the crack? I'll read that in 2 seconds. I'm getting the stream up on the laptop. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's inverted and shit, but like, whatever. I just tried to throw 20 in the hat via PayPal, but I'm not sure if it went through. Hopefully it lands. Happy New Year. I'd say it did, yeah. I'll check now. Thanks, man. I hope you had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's good to be back. It went through. You legend. Nice one. I don't know if I can read the message. I don't know if you put a message in with it, but like. This is very heavy. But yeah, it went through. I got the email there. Domo arigato for your patronage to Painting Goo. Oh no, biggie. Nothing to read really. I just wanted to make sure the shekels made it through. Yeah, the shekels made it. Awesome. It's good to see you, man. Hope you're well. This is going to take a while to get used to. The orientation's completely different. Yeah, there is a mirroring, pardon my tie, but fuck it. I know, yeah. It's just like one of those things where, like, because the painting is inverted, when I look at it now, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, but yeah, whatever. We're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. Like, fuck it. Like, okay. That was class. That was fucking class. I like the way, like, the welcome back song is like pretty fucking heavy metal with a dash of epic female vocals. But I haven't listened to this, like in what, over a week now or something. So like I fucking all hail the mighty mighty.
The last thing you want to come across is a member of the mighty mighty clan.
Can you guys hear the music okay?
Out foraging for berries and grapes, grape haze in the local forest region. And a mighty bitey slithers from the bush, proceeds to steal all your belongings and take a big chunk out of your ass, and then scurry off into the distance laughing at you while you bleed from your bum and realize that you have been mugged by a monster. All hail
The mighty mighty.
mighty bitey.
The way it just drops. It's fucking brilliant. Oh, I forgot to descend into proper Pentingo posture. My sincerest apologies.
The last thing you want to come across is a member of the mighty mighty clan.
The top knot's a bit forward today.
In the local forest region, and a mighty bitey slithers from the bush, proceeds to steal all your belongings and take a big chunk out of your ass, and then scurry off into the distance, laughing at you while you bleed from your bum and realize that you have been
Mugged by a monster. The mighty mighty. Right, I want to darken him a bit. He's a bit too pink. Yeah, there we go. Much better. He's a bit too pink.
The last thing you want to come across is a member of the mighty mighty clan, and you're out foraging for berries and grapes, grape haze in the local forest region. And the mighty bitey slithers from the bush, proceeds to steal all your belongings and take a big chunk out of your ass, and then scurry off into the distance, laughing at you while you bleed from your bum and realize that you have been
Mugged by a monster. The mighty mighty. Mighty mighty. Yeah, that probably did the job. Yeah. It was a bit too pink.
The last thing you want to come across is a member of the mighty bitey clan, and you're out foraging for berries and grapes, grape haze in the local forest region. And the mighty bitey slithers from the bush, proceeds to steal all your belongings and take a big chunk out of your ass, and then scurry off into the distance, laughing at you while you bleed from your bum and realize that you have been
Mugged by a monster. Oh, hail the mighty mighty. Mighty mighty.
is a member of the mighty bitey clan, and you're out foraging for berries and grapes, grape haze in the local forest region. And the mighty bitey slithers from the bush proceeds to steal.
Where it says grapes and then grape haze. What did I say? Grop haze.
By a monster.
So funny. The mighty bitey. Mighty bitey. They should just play in order now, actually. The stool of fate. Oh man, the stool of fate. It's fucking hilarious. Is that in Japanese? Is that fucking Japanese? Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. The stool of fate. Oh, hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Stool of fate. That's so fucking funny, man. Oh, this one sounds really similar to one of the ones we made before. Frozen Maw of the Void. Epic name. Epic name. And apt, because this place It's fucking frozen. Went for a walk up there to the hills like I usually do. Absolutely incredible looking. Place is just beautiful looking. I left my phone here to charge though while I was gone because I knew I'd be using the phone for the stream. So I wasn't able to take photos. I'll try and take photos tomorrow when I go for my walk. The fucking like Tipperary with like the fog and the mist and the sun and the hills and the shit. It's fucking incredible looking like. Right, okay, he is now less pink. Excellent. Right, I want to brighten his eyes up a bit. I'll try dry brush a lot of yellow into his eyes, make them a bit brighter. I still want them to be green, but I want them to have that like glowy pop, you know? I might even use the other stuff actually. Remin Yarrow! My favorite form of yarrow. Remin Yarrow. You do kind of have to shake the shit out of these when they're full, because like they're full, so you can't like shake it like that. You have to just like fucking like Bart. Do you remember that episode of The Simpsons when Bart puts the can of Duff in the paint shaker thing? And fucking Homer opens it and it's like a nuclear explosion. Oh man. This is awesome. This is still frozen maw. This is deadly. It's 5 minutes long. I like it. Got like fucking two screens and a painting right now. Yeah, I'm gonna need to put a couple of layers of yellow on that, maybe even a bit of white. But we're getting there. No, there's not a lot of not a lot of work left on this guy. I'm gonna, try and shade him a bit better. He went a bit too pink. I want him to have that kind of like that demon flesh red, Skadagi Vikombahara. Whatever the fuck that means. Something like a good bit of Punjab metal. April Fool. Boom. Miraiki. Miraiki. Oh, you have to make a song called Miraiki. There's just something about the Eastern style metal shit is fucking funky as fuck, man. So good. Again, shout out to Wendy Sama. The fucking, I haven't had to refill this in like a month. Wet pallets for the win. Oh, this is stop the cycle. The cycle of filth.
Determination carved in bone. Discipline that makes this place our own. हरियाली फूले रोशनी जलाए नवारा सी खुद
The villages will burn is the next one. Excellent. Tell the kids daddy loves them. Oh, God. The villages will burn. The villages will burn. What was it? I remember that from The Last Samurai. The word for burn in Japanese, or to burn something, is like mueru or some shit. To burn. Mueru. Patience dies another day. Let the go flow, or the torches rise. Hunger bills behind our eyes. Standing in this war, or watching turn. Guide us back, or villages burn. Altars crack beneath the strain. Prayers rot as sharpened tongues. Direction lost, the leash is cut. Instinct helps consumer erupt. The demigod denies them call. So we sharpen faith into war. This is fucking dead.
Doctrine left to hold us down, down. Only fire beneath the crown. Let them go flow. Fade the need. Lift out the strain. We bleed. The beast of mass. Restore control. The goal must flow or fracture. Guide or burn. Mercy's gone. Now lessons learned. We wait no more. The hours past. The dam will break. This calm won't let it flow, or let it fall. Defend the road. Heed the call.
That was deadly.
It's all loaded.
The Villages Burn version 2.
Here's a more brutal, feral, and relentless lyric from silver storage remain. With much imagery, command delivery, and deathly uncertainty. No gravity time.
Yeah, he's more red now. Nice.
Let's go at the end of restraint. He cried on the hours of play. The good was gone, things run dry.
Just didn't want him to have that pink look to him.
No size carved in sacred stone. Perfect and now has left us alone. Silence sharpens into rage. They corrode inside the cage. Every breath tastes like decay. Patience dies another day. Let the gold flow, or the curtain rise. All the veils behind the rise. Silence web, no one watching dead. God is back, all felt is back. Beneath the strain, prayers rot on sharpened tongues. Direction lost beneath his gut. Instinct house consumer erupt. The demigod denies the call, so we sharpen faith into war. No doctrine left to hold us down.
I really like the lyrics in this one.
Only fire beneath the ground. Let the gold flow. Feed the need. Without the stream, we bleed. Big things to mass. Restore control. The gold must flow. Flow of fraction, diamond burn. Mercy's
Okay. His eyes are nice and green. He's nice and red. Some of his teeth have been blemished, so I need to fix them. Ah, Gurifu-sama! You know you're getting old when you don't know what chat you're in. That was for my wife, Dirk. Funniest part of this song is it was written like 4 days without goo. Immediate pillaging. Oh, it's amazing. It's so fucking funny. I fucking love it. All that shit was brilliant, man. All that shit was fucking amazing. The funniest part about this song is it was written from like 4 days with no goo. Villages will burn. I fucking love it. I need to I really do eventually I need to get into animation or something, or get my hands on like an AI animator or something like that, like so we can start like doing music videos to go with the do AI music videos to go with the AI music that you've made and all. Like it'd be so fucking funny and cool and shit. Like have a village of people who are like joyful and grateful and everything's good, true and beautiful and all, and everybody gathers around the fucking in the center of the village every day for a few hours to watch the demigod Defenderu fucking paint something and make everybody laugh and all this shit. Like it's like 4 days with none of that, and it's just utter chaos. blood in the streets, cannibalism, babies being thrown into fires. Just like ridiculously heavy metal being played in the background. And then I come back with like a suitcase in flip-flops or something, like a pair of shades, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm gone 4 days and you kill half of the generation and shit on the walls? What's wrong with you people? Oh god. It'd be so funny if like Jesus actually did come back and just started killing everyone because he was so disappointed in what we did while he was gone. Like the same, you fucking like the same way that like, you know, oh Jesus, he like got the whips out and threw the tables over in the temple and all. And he was like, you demons are fucking, you know, corrupting and like what was the term you allegedly used or whatever, like, you know, you're blaspheming and you're corrupting the temples and you're like sullying your father's name and all this fucking shit, like just like, you know, calling them out and all their bullshit and all. Could you imagine if fucking Jesus came back now and he just took one look at what was going on and was just like, right, that's it, and just started murdering people and making examples out of people and all? Like, you'd quickly have a lot of Christians who are like, oh shit, I don't think I want to be Christian anymore. Like, obviously you'd have the hardcore ones that would be like, yes, burn the heretic. Like, so fucking funny. I want to play the fucking I remember the Nematode ones being fucking class. Where are they? I'm so happy with the current state of the stream, despite like not having the laptop and the camera angles and all this fucking shit. The combination of me just like, you know, taking the piss, going on rants, having a laugh, making jokes, and like painting something, and now we have the added effect of like you guys have made music based on the shit that we've all said and done, and like the characters and all. Like, it's so fucking good. Like, we need a song about Myro the monkey trying, like, being sent here to kill me and me like petrifying him and sticking him in front of the piano. Like, we need a song about Garlos, you know, being saved from the jungle and like what was it? I plucked him from the jungle. I saved him from the tyranny that he was under of being fed copious amounts of cocaine by Don Branco. So fucking funny, man. We've created some absolute like comedy gold on this fucking stream over the past few years. And now that we have music about it and all, it's like so good, like makes me so happy. Okay. Yeah, like Printer, like these Nematode ones are fucking deadly. I really like these. Frozen Hearth. Like, Stabaroo's just like sending me more music like live on stream. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, Wood Vinegar, The Turning Man. Yeah, these are deadly. I know they're not metal, but like they're really fucking good. Like, it's such a cool idea to have like music that's like fucking really good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that hits that like I don't know what it like I suppose a good word, a good all around word to describe it is like sexy music. Cause like it's music that like gets you going, and music that like, you know, turns you on, music, but like not sexually. So it's not like invigorating music, like what would be what's a good word, like not empowering music. Well, I suppose like if it's educational, it literally is empowering. Like music that really just hits that fucking like the music that gets you going, but it also has like an educational element to it, and it's also like funny and fun and shit. Like that's like if you hit all of those neurological nodes in a human in a person's mind, like it makes the process of learning shit like almost like automatic. You know, like there's no like studying and books or any of this shit. It's just like you're imparting knowledge through sound and like think about how many times in like when you were a kid where like somebody would be like, you know, like repetition, repetition, repetition. That's what makes you like remember stuff. That's what like drills home these concepts and ideas and like formulas and all these things. And if you just have a song, like they some like there was like lessons and times in school where they did that, where like they'd make up an acronym or an anagram or whatever, or a fucking or a song like a catchy tune. Literally, what like Charlie Sheen's character did in fucking Two and a Half Men. Like the reason he was so rich, like the reason why he was like financially successful is he just made catchy jingle tunes for like companies and shit where he'd be like you know what I'm talking about, like fucking especially if you live in Europe, the fucking there's like this insurance um there's an insurance company, but it's like sorry, it's not an insurance company. It's a website where you can compare the deals and prices of like different insurance companies or some shit, and it's called GoCompare.com or whatever. And for years they had this like opera singer who was like go compare, and it was like catchy, but it was annoying. And like about like 5 years down the line, they leaned into it. They leaned into the fact that like most people found him really annoying, and they made an ad where some woman shoots him with a bazooka while he's trying to sing the tune. Like that's genius marketing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the whole really like catching that part of a human mind that like the entertainment, the literal like what would you is it the Latin or Greek um what not translation, but like the root of the word entertainment, like to enter the mind and to capture it, or to enter the mind and hold it or something. Like we've literally done that on this stream loads of times, even without the music, with just like catchy sayings and stuff, like like fucking like the fact that like there's nothing like a smooth stool to get the chi flowing. like like that actually makes sense. Like, a healthy shit in the morning is a great way to start your day. Like there's literally like that's in the zeitgeist, that's in the lexicon of like the morning move. Like if you like you get up and you have a coffee. It used to happen to me all the time when the first thing I would do is make a coffee and a joint first thing in the morning. I'd get up and have a coffee and a joint, and I'd immediately need to take shit. And like depending on my diet at the time, or if I was like keeping up with my exercise routine or something, when you've a smooth stool, like it like having like it makes total sense. Like if you look at a car and you've like a really bad exhaust system, like it can like clog up shit, and it can like fuck up the interior of the car and fuck up the engine and all, like it cause problems. But if you have a nice clean fucking like waste management exhaust system in your body, like that like promotes good health and a good attitude and a good mindset, because you're not like bogged down quite literally sometimes by the like internal workings of your body. Like digestion takes energy and power from your body to like your body. When your body is busy digesting food, it doesn't have the same capacity to do other things, like so if you're not well in terms of your gut and like the excretion of certain material from your body, like like that has a negative effect on you. Like, so just the saying like there's nothing like a smooth stool to get the chi flowing, It's like, and I didn't think about that. I was just like in the moment, like, and those are always the best ones. Those are always the best ones when you're just like in flow, when you're just like in the moment and shit, and you say something off cuff. You just say something unscripted, like not thought out. It just happens. It's just organic, and that's what makes it makes perfect sense that those things are the best things, because that's how this place works. That's how existence works. Is like the things that just happen, are the most beautiful things. Like there's a fucking flower that I've heard of that only blooms like it blooms for like 10 minutes every 7 years. So like the fact that that only happens in that way at that time within that time frame in this one place draws attention, and attention is power. Like attention, what was it? Energy goes where attention flows, and or energy flows where attention goes. Like it makes perfect sense, and we've got loads of that from this stream. You know, I just like, I love it. Like I couldn't be more. Well, I probably could be more in my behavior anyway. Grateful for like having you guys here, and like having this stream, and like what Painting Goo is. And like Painting Goo itself is that it came from just like, oh, you should do a stream where you like paint shit and all, and like 4 years later here we are. Like some of the funniest shit I've ever heard, and some of the funniest designs, like Emperor No Si Wang. That painting's hilarious. The fucking the Dragon of Discontent, the way it's just like it's just has this sullen expression on it. It's so fucking funny. Like, oh man, I love you guys. Right, we get these ones on. I fucking love this playlist. It's really good. Master Roshi. What a legend. My toddlers were watching just this stream, no audio. They loved Mighty. How funny is it that I actively click this is not for kids, because it's not. Like I curse all the time and I say mad shit, like, so it's not for kids. But it's like it's for big kids. It's for people like us who still have that inner child, like a healthy inner child. It's amazing. From the forest floor to a gardener's heart. I'm gonna restart that, but not right now. Demon Hunter just reminded me that it's an hour in and it's time for the phrase. I'll just read the chat. I put another new one in the chat, but it's more mellow and chill. Is that the Frozen Hearth one? Yeah, I'll check it out in a minute. A song for Boris the Bear, our resident cartographer. Yeah. Yeah, our resident cartographer, and he fucking does nothing. Like Boris is never, not that Tobias does anything, but at least he's standing on the gong, and the gong is used. Like Boris is just chilling, chilling like a fucking Russian villain. Like I fucking love it. Like, we haven't used Garlos in a while though. Which like how funny is it that I actually feel a small amount of guilt that I haven't used Garlos. And like the way the human mind works is fascinating. But anyway, yeah, it's time for the phrase of the day. Oh fuck, I love it so much. Did I get all the? I'm just making sure I read the entire chat. Yeah, like the fucking. I'm just picturing Printer Bear's kids watching the stream with no audio, and they're like, like. I've said that before. I would like to. If we could make a Painting Goo for kids, it'd be fucking brilliant. But like, I would have to. It would be very different because it would be. In an ironic sense, it would be more serious because I would have to. I'd have to put a filter on. I'd have to like in my mind be like, okay, I have to take it more serious so that I can do it for children, which just sounds so funny. Like, you know, but it's true though. You have to put that filter. Like I don't even have kids, and I know that because I like grew up with a lot of cousins and shit that were way younger than me. Like I've been around. There's been many, many, many hours throughout my life where I've been around children and I've had to like, you know, can't say this, I can't say that. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, especially somebody like me who can be quite like blunt and like, you know, like about as subtle as a brick through a fucking window when it comes to like saying things and like that kind of tone and shit like that. Like I can be uh like aggressive and combative and like you know have like a lot of like conviction in my voice and shit, which is good in certain circumstances, especially if you're trying to like, you know, discipline a child or something like that. Like, but it's like I would definitely come across as like a combination of like scary and mean, you know, if I was just me. Like I'd also be funny, but then like I'd be inappropriate, you know. So, but it'd be magical to be able to do this for kids, um, and have them enjoy it, and for us to know that there's like no immoral shit in it at all. You know, it is as moral as we can make it. You know, teach them how to create, teach them why to create, teach them that like it's not about being good at creating things. Like obviously that comes with practice, but like the point of creating things is to be like your all father, like you were created in the creator's image, so create stuff within creator's image and all this shit. Like, you know, I think it'd be really cool to create like kind of Owen has created a cult that's not a cult. I think it'd be really cool to create a religion that's not a religion. You know what I mean? Like like an ideology with none of the dogma, and like an ideology with none of the if you don't do this you will burn in hell, like none of the made up shit. Like it'd probably be more along the lines of a philosophy, you know, but like I don't know. Anyway, do the phrase. Getting sidetracked. I'll have a quick sup of soup. Where did I? I'm looking over here for the phone. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm all over the place. Right, where are we going? Right, Telegram. There we go. Okay. Part of me was thinking is like we need a tune for the phrase of the day, but like we don't need a tune for the phrase of the day. We need like a little jingle, like 30 seconds of like it's time for the phrase of the day. Like, you know, some shit like that. Like right. Phrase of the day. I send cleansing vibrations through the interwebs to cleanse you of your filthy, dirty chi and allow it to flow freely as we express and announce today's phrase of the day. An Irishman and a Jew are more alike than you think. Paddy's been kicked out of 109 pubs and doesn't know why. That's like, I love the way some of your phrases aren't phrases. Like, like, like that's not a phrase. Like, we need to make it. I need to go back and like record all these because the amount of phrases of the day that aren't phrases. Like, oh, that's hilarious. That's very true. An Irishman and a Jew are more alike than you think. Paddy's been kicked out of 109 pubs and doesn't know why. Well, there is truth in that, but when I read that earlier and I was laughing and shit because I was like, The difference between an Irishman and a Jew is that Paddy's been kicked out of 109 pubs, but he knows exactly why and he doesn't give a fuck. Like, that that'd be the Irish like equivalent, you know. Ah, sure, I've been kicked out of every pub in the country. Fucking bastards. You know, like inhospitable cowards. Oh fuck. Right, we have a bonus Polak joke. Why did the Polish submarine sink? Marek went outside for a cigarette break. Wait, when did that happen? When did that come about? Like, when did the Polish like get a reputation for being retarded? Like, that sounds like Russian propaganda to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Polish people are uh, like in general, like just low IQ or something. Like, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Although that could be a thing, because like all the Polish people I've met are Polish diaspora. So you could make an argument that like the Polish people that make it out of Poland are the smart ones. And the Polish people that are left in Poland are the stupid ones. But that like, you know, I don't know enough about Polish people or Poland's history or whatever like that. Like, I would love to get more knowledgeable about like a broad spectrum analysis of human history, but it's one of those things that is just so vast that like it's one of the few vocations or like areas of knowledge that like when you just look at history, it's it like the nature of the term history, like the definition of history is everything that has come before us, which is like you could easily argue that's pretty much endless. Do you know what I mean? Like the I doubt there's a single historian that has like even a fucking vague grasp of like all history. You know, you have military historians, you have like like modern history, like recent history. Then you have like ancient history. Then you have all the stuff in between that's like, you know, everything from like the biblical history to like Middle Ages. There's just these like vast expanses of time with so much shit going on. Like, you know, it's so funny how like people like me in particular, like I'm 34 now. So I was born in 1991 and like, you know, generally raised with a sense of like, okay, so World War II happened. Hitler was the most evil man that's ever existed, and the Nazis were the most evil people that ever existed. We collectively, like the EU, allied with the Russians and the Americans, collectively defeated the Axis armies, and now we live in, you know, relative peace and prosperity, and like we go to places and altruistically dole out liberty and democracy to these places that need it and all. Which, when you hear that, you're kind of like, that sounds very Roman Empire-ish. Like, you know, it sounds exactly like the Roman Empire. Well, these people are savages, and we have brought them civilization, whether it was at the end of a sword or not. Like, it's the same with the Muslims. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hundreds of years of slaughtering Christians, and the Muslims think they're the good guys. Like, it's fucking the the mistake. Well, I don't know if you'd be able to describe it as a mistake, but oh, well, I don't even know how to describe what I'm trying to say. It's like every group makes the same mistake. They all think that their perspective is like the perspective, you know, which is just fucking like retarded. Like, as an individual human being, you're considered incredibly narcissistic or retarded or evil or psychopathic if you don't have any empathy and you can't put yourself in somebody else's shoes, and like you're not aware that other people have perspectives and feelings and stuff like that. Like, and that extrapolates out to like groups and nations and what would you call it, like ethnic groups and cultures and stuff like that. Like every culture seemingly, yeah, every culture, yeah, pretty much. Like apart from the bears, is Bertaria the first attempt at a culture like that, where we try to eliminate the ignorance of the singular perspective by being, like I was talking about earlier, where it's like the good, the true, the beautiful, but like not from a Christian sense. Like, like obviously Owen himself would consider himself a Christian to a point, hashtag Jort Wars. like we, because they describe the Enlightenment and all that as like, as like something along those lines. It's like, oh well, we're not these like primitive barbarous beings anymore, and we need to be like enlightened minds and all this shit. Like, but like throughout the ages there's been so many, like, look at Buddhists, look at Taoists, look at fucking, like the Chinese have been around for thousands of years. They had like empires rise and fall just within China and all, and like the medical knowledge and the knowledge of warfare and like, like I suppose like medical knowledge and warfare like combined creates that kind of ideology and awareness of the physical body and what it's capable of. But like the astrology, like I heard someone turn around recently and be like, oh yeah, they invented like fireworks, but like they were just doing like pretty stuff with it. They didn't kill anyone. Like they came up with gunpowder but didn't invent the gun. Isn't that a good thing? Like, isn't that a sign of a very healthy and like self-aware and creative and like good, true, beautiful culture, where they created this explosive material and the first thing they decide to do with it is something like extravagant and entertaining and beautiful and shit? And like from the Western perspective, it's like, you retards didn't think of putting, a ball of lead at the end of the barrel and killing people with it. Like, you guys are retards. Like, that's what I think is so funny about being a Westerner, is like a self-aware Westerner is where I'm like an Easterner or a fucking, like whatever kind of foreigner, like, could look at us and be like, oh my guys, like, oh my god, you guys are so like brutal and like you lie, like it's the Empire lies and all this fucking shit. And like there's people like us that would be like, oh yeah, like we know, like our governments have lied about load of shit, like our leaders have lied about a load of shit, but they don't seem to have the same degree of self-awareness as we do, from what I've seen anyway. Like I've seen a lot of Easterners. Well, it's probably because they have higher populations. There's like billions of them in like, in China and like the deserts and stuff. Like they're like the Muslim population and the Chinese, the Oriental populations are like vast. And then you got like India and shit. So then that would increase the scale and increase the probability of people like that existing. Like the more people you have, the more smart people you have, the more people you have, the more dumb people you have. So that kind of makes sense in that regard. But like, at least in the zeitgeist, it appears that you have a lot of self-aware Westerners that are like, we're part of the problem. Like our ancestors and the way we have done things and our leaders are part of the problem. We don't want to live like this. Like we don't have a problem with foreigners that don't have a problem with us. We just want to like do good, true, beautiful shit. Where there's, from what I've seen, propaganda or not, there seems to be still a large portion of that side that just looks at the West as like, tyrannical and a bunch of lying scum, and especially when you get the religious types, like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously not all Muslims are radical Muslims and shit like that, like, but like there seems to be a load of Muslims who think that way, like, their way is the way, you know. But then you get the Chinese, the Chinese are a fascinating bunch because like they're not Muslim, they're not Christian. There's Muslim Chinese and there's Christian Chinese. I think there's a lot of Catholic Chinese, isn't there? But they're like Shintoists, aren't they? Or Buddhists? Like there'd be a lot of like Buddhist Chinese. But that's kind of what I was talking about like a minute ago, where like they have this like the Chinese culture has this like holistic system of like astrology, the human body, as within, so without, as above, so below. Almost like Gnostic uh, pool of knowledge, this Gnostic like wealth of, well, you can do this, like in terms of like stuff like origami and calligraphy, and like, and I'm not saying Westerners don't have calligraphy, obviously we do, but it's like the amount of shit that they like invented, you know, that then made its way to other places and was then perverted into like different stuff. Obviously not all of it. I'm not saying our calligraphy is like a perversion of their calligraphy, but even the languages and stuff, and the letter, like, the alphabets, the way they write, the way they move, you know, like all the from what I like the Roman Empire had like wrestling and gladiators and stuff like that, like, but the Eastern empires had martial arts, and then all the different forms of martial arts and stuff. It's like they have an awareness of certain knowledge that we don't, and we do have an awareness of certain knowledge that they don't, but I'd say there's less of it. From what I've experienced anyway, it seems like, a fuck ton of like the original stuff comes from that side of the realm, which makes total sense because like in a lot of ways, like, you have the equatorial regions and the Asiatic regions that are like much warmer, much more like organically and bacterially like prolific. You just have like more stuff with like more varied stuff. And then you get to like a country like Ireland where it's like it's beautiful and it has this nice, like, when it's hot, it's not too, when it's hot it's not too hot, when it's cold it's not too cold. It's very, it's very balanced, but it's also kind of boring. you know you're not going to come across any animals in Ireland that are like brightly colored and do mad stuff, you know apart from like a fucking ladybug or something like, do you know what I mean? Like, but anyway, rant over. Um, what was it? I was going to stick on the nematode ones, wasn't I? Oh, I'll play this first. I'll play the new one first. The one that Stabberoo just sent me there, and then I'll stick on the nematode shit. What's the crack, Emmanuel? Did you have a good Christmas? I read about halfway through your essay about the toilet dude on TikTok. I think I remember you mentioning him before. Uh, Dadaism, Dadaism. Is that what it is? It's interesting. It's very interesting. I haven't finished it yet though. Um, Chopin was Polish. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is Polish. It's propaganda. Who's Joanna Jędrzejczyk? Sorry, Sorry, I'm gonna pause that for a sec. That is very chill. That's very chill. It's very nice. Um, are you like that's not Joanna Jędrzejczyk as in like that bitch from the UFC, because she's a bit of a gobshite. That's not a good argument there. But obviously Chopin is an excellent argument for the Polish culture being highly intelligent. I'm gonna look her up. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Jędrzejczyk. Man, those fucking names. Joanna Jen. How do you spell that? Jędrzejczyk. Jędrzejczyk. Is that the one you're on about? The bitch that used to be in the UFC? Dude, that's not a good example of intellect. She's a fucking fool. Like she made a real bad call trying to do the whole Conor McGregor, like, I'm gonna play it up to the like Rose, what's that bitch's name? Rose fucking Namajunas. Rose Namajunas fucking destroyed that bitch. That was meant as a joke. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, Chopin was Polish. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is Polish. It's propaganda. Yeah, like, she's a fucking idiot. Like, but obviously, Chopin is like an excellent example of why the Polish are clearly not retarded. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is an example of why, like, like, I don't know. I wouldn't even sully Polish culture or the Polish people or women in general. You know, like, you'll never spell it right. Has like 25 files. Yeah, I know how to say it. Like, spelling it would be fucked. Like, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Jędrzejczyk, is it? I can't remember. I was kidding. Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious. My reaction to that, like, Joanna, she's a fucking retard. Like, it's like, a lot of the time it's funnier when it goes completely over my head and you guys get to see it live on stream. But yeah, Chopin, obviously, brilliant. I fucking love his stuff. I always remember, is it Berlioni or something? Berlion? The one that Captain Picard is listening to in First Contact, where they just like had an interaction with the Borg or something, like, so he's having like PTSD, he's having flashbacks of when he became Locutus, when he became a Borg, when he was assimilated into the Borg, and he's just standing there in his office in the dark, blaring like that fucking amazing music. I think it's called Berlion, is what he says. I can't remember. But yeah, man, the classics are amazing. So many of them are so good. Like, I have to watch that again. First Contact, such a good movie. Fucking amazing movie. It's funny. I was like ranting to myself there the other day. I wasn't even talking to anyone. I was basically just ranting to myself while I was on a walk, and bitching and moaning about, like, you know, woke culture and stuff like that and all, like, and comparing them to the Borg. And you know the way the Borg are like, resistance is futile. Your cultural and technological independence will be assimilated into our, you know, you like, you know, we are the Borg and all this fucking shit. Like, and I was thinking like, we are the woke. Like, your inclusion and diversity will be assimilated. Like, it's, we are the woke. You're, you're like, how has that skit not been done yet? And if it has been done, I haven't seen it. Like, because that's such a like the woke culture, the woke ideology. I don't even know if you could call it an ideology. It's more just like a disease of the mind, or like a culture, maybe. Yeah, like woke culture is probably a better one, because it's definitely not an ideology. Because it's not even Marxism or communism anymore. Like, woke is this just insidious mind virus now that has infected everything. So I suppose you could call it some kind of like evolution of Marxism or communism or some shit, which in that sense it's like you could describe it as an ideology. Um but it's a one for one really of the Borg. Everything just becomes this grey cube and grey spheres and grey cubes. Like, all the fucking tech uses the same shade of green and the same shade of grey. All the races get assimilated into like one mechanic. They're not even a race, you know. They're a combination of like, it's what Elon Musk wants. It's like like, obviously the Borg were made with, I'd say, the transhumanism in mind. They were like thinking of transhumanism, where like technology and man become fused, and then like everything becomes just like pure logic and pure utilitarianism and shit, which is utterly terrifying, obviously. But like, what we know woke as, and what we culturally know, as fans of Star Trek or whatever, as like the Borg, it's pretty much the Borg, where like they come up and they just speak nonsense that they've been programmed with, and they in it, like, the woke people are violent. Because I was trying to think there, I was like, are they violent? It's not like they have an army, but they kind of do. And they are violent. Typically they're not effective in their violence, but like, they are violent. Like, there's so many videos of like people who are woke who can't, and it's because they can't communicate, they can't argue, they can't actually use logic, they can only use the programming they've been instilled with. So like, all of it is just simply doctrine. So they don't know how to think critically, they don't know how to think independently and argue something using logic, reason, rationality, how to like discern something to be objective or subjective or any of these things. They don't know how to think categorically, all this stuff. Like, in a sense they think categorically because they just have two categories, like, woke and not woke. But they are essentially the Borg in that way, where like they just go blah, 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 and then when that doesn't work, they just use force, which is just, it's the most, I think, like, woke to me is like the pinnacle of un how do you say, like, unaware, but unaware of self. They have no sense of self-awareness. They're like the ultimate sheep. Like, the woke people are they're the peak of hypocrisy, sheep, like herd mentality, groupthink. It is a cult, but it's like not a cult in a sense, because it's like, it's not centralized in one location, kind of thing. Like, on the one hand, it is fascinating, like, if you're to like analyze what woke is, but because it's so disgusting and insidious and destructive and fucking just on a level evil, it's not so much fascinating as it is like terrifying. Like, obviously woke people don't induce fear. Like, I think they're a joke. I would like mock them, laugh at them, like. But obviously, you do get to a stage where th- their behavior results in like wrath, because you could find something utterly ludicrous, but if they were still able to communicate with you and you would have a back and forth of ideas, then you could still remain in a place of like, a roughly, of not, okay, we could agree to disagree, but like there would still be a discourse. There would still be a certain level of respect of like, well, you're still obviously like able to, negotiate and communicate and all this shit. Like, but once that's gone, you're essentially dealing with an animal, you know? Like, you can't go up to a fox and go, will you please leave my chickens alone? You can't go up to a coyote and be like, don't snatch my baby in the middle of the night, like, or a fucking, what are they called? Dingoes, those wild dogs in Australia. Apparently that happens like quite a lot. Or has happened, like kind of unnerving amount of times in the past. Like, um, but like once you realize that there is no room for discourse or communication or negotiation or whatever, you find yourself in a place where it's like, okay, well, if you keep transgressing upon uh my well-being, my world, my life, the limits or the barriers of like my existence, if you keep transgressing upon that, then you leave me with no choice but to kill you, or at least um, respond with some kind of violence or some kind of deterrent, you know? And that's like it makes so much sense then why a load of people have started to talk about Hitler and the Nazis again, because it's like, hold on, like, because it's like whatever about the Jews and stuff, it's more like there's just like a type of person who engages in these behaviors, and that's when you get into the whole conversation of like, okay, so is it cultural, and it's a culture that's existed for a long time, and it's just very like pervasive, and like, they go underground when a lot of them get killed, and then they like come back out of the woodwork when there's enough of them or whatever. Or is it actually these supernatural forces playing out through human beings? These like, cosmically aligned uh, dualities of good and evil manifesting themselves in human beings. I would say that's probably it. You know, I don't think, because like I agree with Owen. It's like, you can't just blame all the Jews. You can't just blame all the Muslims. You can't just blame all the woke people. Like, do you know what I mean? Because like there's bound to be people that consider themselves to be woke and hang around with a lot of woke people, but they're actually all right. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not wicked. You know, they just, like a lot of other sheepish people would be like, they just don't want to rock the boat. And wherever they grew up, or whatever family they were born into, or whatever friend group they find themselves in at that particular time, they just agree with all the people around them, and that brings them a sense of like community, security, and all this fucking shit. So why wouldn't they be woke? You know, like there's bound to be loads of them. Like, it's like what I've said before. It's like every group has its, like has its bad eggs or whatever like that. Like even a group like the Bears, like we've had tons of psychopaths, you know, and we've had like a particular brand of psychopath that like initially seems like interesting and, high level of thought and capable of like abstract thinking and all of these fucking things, only to like turn all of a sudden like a fucking demon. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, who are these people? Like, it's weird. But anyway, um, Berlioz. Is it Berlioz? Is it Berlioz or Berlioz? Berlioz. I think Patrick Stewart's, what does he say? Picard. I think Picard says Berlioz. Berlioz? Can't remember. Let me know. Is it Berlioz or Berlioz? Do you pronounce the S? It's only a matter of time with the woke that it becomes that conversation of one man battling an army of toddlers. Yeah, like it's in terms of like there's never going to be a woke army, I think. Like obviously like there was like armies, there was like communist armies. Um and I know a lot of it is Marxism and stuff like that, but it's evolved into this thing that's just like a disease. Do you know what I mean? Because like there were Karl Marx was like a philosopher, like an idealist. Like, do you know what I mean? These people had ideas. These people had arguments. But woke, what we're dealing with now, they can't argue. They can't think. So it's so much worse because now you've, like I've said, you've turned a whole load of people. What I say turned, like, do you mean it's like people have chosen to engage in behavior that could be described as sin, that has resulted in them being just vessels for this stuff. And that's why I would be along the lines of they're like, it's demonic. It's like, and then you get into the whole thing, well, like, what you mean demons? As like, are you a Christian? Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's why I try to describe it as like that. I find these conversations fascinating because I love trying to to define something so that you can categorize it, so you know what you're dealing with. And what I think these people are is a manifestation of the reality of like what all religions and ideologies loosely talk about in the same thing. Is like, what is a daemon? What is a demon? What is a kaiju? Not a kaiju, a yokai. Yokai is like the Japanese one. I don't know what the Chinese one is like. But every culture has a flood myth. Every culture has ghosts and demons and stuff. Every culture has like, it's supernatural. The unseen forces, So like, to me, what woke people are as a group now, what we're dealing with, is a group of people who are essentially vacated, and they may as well just be animals or parasites. They're like less than human, which I know is dangerous territory because that's what Hitler and the Nazis allegedly. Well, it's probably not allegedly. Like, I'm ignorant of whether or not Hitler actually did refer to the Jews as like he called them rats, didn't he? Like, they behave parasitically, they behave animalistically. Obviously, that doesn't make them parasites or animals literally, but you could easily make the argument that they are simply vessels for inhuman behavior. Because you don't want to get into the argument of like, are they actually full of parasites? Are they actually fucking infested with demons? Like, that's how you get to the stage where you're like, okay, let's just kill them all. But you can't do that. You can't just kill them all. That, like, stuff like that is why history is so fascinating and knowledge of history is so important. Because it's like, if you look at the mistakes that people have made, you can then be like, okay, so we can't do this because then that happens, and we can't do this because then that happens. We can't do this because then that happens. Which is so funny because the communists are always like, but that wasn't really communism. That wasn't true communism, like, so that's why that's indicative of a mind that doesn't learn. It's like, no, but we could just do it properly though. It's like, okay, sure, yeah. Like, whereas like people like us are like, okay, so X action produces Y result. Like, I'm a gamer. like if I was to define like my ideology, my like mindset, I'm a fucking gamer. Like that's what I am. What works? Okay. Like, and I wouldn't describe myself as utilitarian because it's not just what works. It's what works physically, but also morally and ethically and like philosophically and like, all these things. Like, it's not just what works. Like, does that shape go in that slot in the box? Like, does that lever, does this action produce the desired result? It's not just that. Because that is what Hitler and the Nazis did, where it's like, okay, what if we just kill them all? Will we be free then? It's like, no. So you can't just kill them all. And like that makes so much sense because like when I'm in a bad mood and I'm angry and I go on a rant and I'm like, oh, sometimes it's like, like that's why I've said that before. It's like you don't want me to be in control because like I'd have an off day and then I would just kidnap all the women and children from a place like that. Like if all the woke people lived in like Eritrea, I don't even know where that fucking is. Like, you know what I mean? Like if all the woke people lived in one place, for the most part, on any given day that I'm like, all right, fuck these cunts, you just go in and kidnap all the women and children and then just like reduce it to glass. But that doesn't solve the problem. It may solve the problem temporarily, but it doesn't solve the problem, Which is why I'm like that's one of the reasons why I would be able to argue to people that I am self-aware, because it's like even though I have moments where I lose myself because I'm engaging in the sin of wrath or I'm engaging in the sin of sloth or any of these things, like I do return to self, I do return to center, and then I'm like, so what do we do? I have the knowledge and the self-awareness to be like, no, I shouldn't be in charge because I'm fallible, you know. But then people would argue that somebody like me, it's like the thing where I'm like, I shouldn't be a father. I can barely take care of myself, and like all these things. And people with kids, people who are fathers and are good fathers, are like, no, you'd make an excellent father. And I'm like, I shouldn't be in charge. I will kill people. And people will be like, no, that's why you should be in charge. Like, and I'm like, no. Like, I find that shit hilarious. That's an incredible like irony that exists. Like Owen has that too. Owen's like the whole thing of reluctant warlord. It's hilarious. Like the people who are typically like, I don't know. I mean, like, like we could do that, but then that wouldn't work because that, like, we know that doesn't work. And like, this, like, the ability to think and discern and to extrapolate like abstract thought and like come up with a plan and all these things and go, okay, but then we still need to think about like people need to be fed, people need to be kept warm, and it's like, so you're responsible and you're empathetic and like compassionate and all these things, but you also draw the line at a certain point because certain behaviors, if engaged in for too long, result in negative things. So like it's just like being a balanced person, or at least trying to be, because I would never, I wouldn't claim that I'm like a balanced person, because I'm obviously not, because I still exist in a state where I am like, where I get pissed off and I rage out and I get like, it's funny, like these days I actually cry way more. Like I'll get very sad because I spent 15 odd years being like really fucking angry all the time. But it's just so fascinating to like, it's not, like that's another, like I was about to say, it's so fascinating to like talk about these things and debate and stuff like that or whatever, because it's like, how funny is it that you have all these intellectuals in the mainstream that are trying to debate the woke side and trying to like, they're trying to, what's the term, maybe steel man or something, the position of the woke, I'm not sure, but it's like they're trying to resolve through argumentation the problem that we're facing. And it's like, in my humble opinion, it appears to be the case that um, you cannot resolve this issue through uh, argumentation. Because they can't argue, or at least even if they could, they wouldn't, and they'd refuse to. It's like it's ironic and it's very frustrating, because like you don't want you don't want to engage in barbarism and violence, or even like clinical violence, like like something like an assassination or some shit like that, like or fucking. I mean, you could probably argue that clinical violence would be like dropping a chlorine bomb somewhere and like just wiping out everyone chemically, and like leaving the uh leaving the structure intact, and leave, like, obviously I'm ignorant to the after effects of a chlorine bomb, but like I'm sure at this stage there would be a way to like either fucking materialistically, like, vaporize, or fucking just like you could kill all organic matter in an area and leave the structure intact, but you didn't what the way you did it doesn't cause like lasting organic damage, because you want to kill the organisms that are there, but not everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's where you get into the whole like people talking about like racial or ethnic bombs or something like that, where you could have like a vaccine or a fucking some kind of like chemical that only works on like people who have the genetic component necessary to create sickle cell anemia, i.e., black people. Even though I'm sure that there's like different strains and genetic lines of black people that don't have sickle cell anemia. So like, but that's what's fascinating to me, is like you have all these problems that intellectual people try to solve, and quite often they do is cause more problems, like, do you know what I mean? So that's when the brute or the man of action comes in, and it's like, all right, let's just kill them all. And it's like, well, that's not going to work either. And that's where you eventually get to the stage that Owen's at, where it's like, okay, so the battle is within, you know and that makes a lot of sense, because once you conquer your, like, the Stoics believe that and stuff, and I believe that. I subscribe to that thought process, that philosophy, or whatever you want to call it, where it's like, if you conquer the demons within, um, as a result, you then lead by example, and like you become like a beacon or a node of better behavior, and the people around you start to do the same thing, and that has a knock-on effect and creates this like, you know uh fucking like cascading effect that like that can have realm wide, um what's the term I'm looking for, consequences, results, effects. So like, for the moment, that does seem to be a very effective strategy. Is like, okay, well, conquer yourself, and once you've conquered yourself, you know not conquer others, but let's say once you've conquered yourself, you've kind of it's kind of half the battle is conquering yourself. And once you conquer yourself, you then realize that you don't have to conquer other people, and like, you can't truly. You can conquer them, as in like kill them and subjugate them and tell them that they have to live a new way and stuff like that, but there's always going to be the people that respond negatively to that. And of course they would. Like, you killed their uncle, you killed their father, you killed their mother, like you raped their mother, you fucking any of this shit. Like, it's like, you can't stop that from happening when you just show up with a lot of boys and start killing everybody. Like, like maybe one day, like, you could, like, they'll probably try that with robots and AI, but then it'd be like that Black Mirror episode where it's like, okay, we're only going to kill bad people. Okay, well, how do you define bad people? Oh, well, we've pretty much figured it out logically. It's like, there's a big difference between intellect and wisdom. Like, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of really intelligent people are crazy, you know. But anyway, hey, the bandit, what's up? Did you have a good Christmas? Um, the intellectuals only want to silence conversation. Yeah, Yeah, intellectuals. Yeah. I know it's really annoying. I find it really annoying that because you'd think like, well, I suppose yeah, it's not a problem of intellect, you know, because you could try to argue with them intellect on an intellectual level, and then you realize that they are like they don't have the capacity to argue with them to argue with you intellectually, or they don't want to argue with you intellectually, which like you would define them as just wicked then, but then you can't just kill all the wicked people because that's not how it works, and it boils down to a point of like, okay, we'll just focus on yourself. But because of the instinctual, like the nature of human beings, I believe, is to not be selfish. Like we're social creatures, so when you get to the point of like, okay, well, conquer yourself, and then like you come to the conclusion that you don't have to, nor can you really ultimately or absolutely or holistically conquer evil in other people. It's up to them. But then you do get to the real world consequential problem of like, well, what are all the good, true, beautiful people going to do when all the bad, false, ugly people decide that they want to kill all the good, true, beautiful people? Do you know what I mean? Because now you're left with a situation where like it's like what I've spoken about with the whole honor, dishonor, honor, no honor argument, where it's like, as a person who believes in the concept of honor, what are you going to do when you face an opponent who has no concept of honor? Your concept of honor will actually more than likely get you and your people killed, which is actually really well represented in the game Ghost of Tsushima, where he kind of starts acting like a shinobi or a ninja, and instead of a samurai, because that's the only way he can take them on is like by going in at night again, like into a camp and like slitting their throats in their sleep and stuff like that. Like which his uncle, who is a devout samurai, is totally against. He's like, it is dishonorable to not face your enemy head on. It's like, yeah, well, facing this enemy head on is going to get us all killed. We've already lost, like so we have to change our tactics. And that's like what's fascinating about people and culture is like, when you are essentially when you find yourself in a position where you're like, you either have to adapt, like you have no other option now. You either adapt and adapt to the situation, evolve, grow, and conquer the problem as a new thing, or you're like resistant to change and you die. And like people have like I get that. I totally get that. Because like even if you look at something like the immigration issue, where you have all these foreigners around, it's not that I have a problem with the individuals. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, some of them you would, because they're fucking scum, or they're like, really entitled and shit, or like, they're so different on a cultural level that they just seem alien or whatever like that. Like, but like most of the foreigners you encounter are very normal people. They just have slight, they make curry at home instead of like meat and potatoes, and they believe in this god instead of this god and stuff. But like, they're not out to kill anyone. They're just out to get a job, have a family, just like you are. Like, so that's where the relationship takes. Like, that's the argument that the globalists make, is like, sure, everybody's basically the same on a fundamental level. It's like, yeah, no, like, it doesn't really work like that. Like, and so that's why you have so much tension now, is because there is so much change so quickly that a lot of people are like filled with fear and anxiety and rage and all this fucking shit. And life is hard enough without all of these added problems that have been thrust upon us by other people. You know, like life is hard enough trying to conquer your own sin, where like, you know, making mistakes on the daily, or like having a, if you've got a problem with sloth, or a problem with wrath, or a problem with lust, or a problem with gluttony, or like, you know, if you're fat, stupid, lazy, horny, like any of these things, that's just life in itself, and that itself can be difficult. But now many of us are dealing with this problem where it's like these existential things that are encroaching upon your life more and more on the daily, where you're like, well, how the fuck, like, what am I supposed to do about this? You know, like, I'm not a bad guy. I don't have like these, like, you know, like, I'm not a heroin addict or something. I don't have these like major problems in my life that I have to get through. I just want to be able to work hard, be useful, you know, have a family and friends and enjoy my life. Like, you know, and there's like nothing wrong with any of those things. But like these obstacles have been put in front of all of us, um, that are seemingly like, you know, insurmountable in a sense. Like that's like, see, they seem insurmountable. They're not. They're totally like, um you could totally get through these problems. You could totally conquer these issues. But now you have to change. Now you have to like change into this new thing. And like, how much though? How much of you needs to change to accommodate, you know, the new living space, the new like the new paradigm or whatever like that, like, you know. And that's what's so insidious about this whole like globalism and wokeism and all this fucking shit, because it's forced. It's no different in a sense to an invading army raping and pillaging and murdering, except they're not, well, they are raping and pillaging and murdering, but it's not a consolidate. It's actually genius when you think about it, because if you show up on somebody's shore, or if you show up in somebody's sky with a flag and a uniform, you immediately make yourself the other, and then it's easier for the place you're invading to counteract you, because then everybody just like bands together and goes, okay, they're the bad guys, we're the good guys, let's go. But we're not dealing with that anymore, because the army that's invading has no flag, has no like set culture or ideology, and has no set ethnicity. You know, so it's like, it's just like an invasion of pure chaos. And that's what, like, in my opinion, that's why you see a lot of people getting more religiously dogmatic now, or more religiously involved. You have all these people running back to Christianity. You have all these people running to Islam. You have all these people running to the Jewish community. And like the three major religious groups are becoming more polarized and more like dogmatic, and more like um, more proud, because now they're turning around to the secular people and they're like, see, we told you, you have to go by the book or this happens, like, which is obviously total bullshit, because that's going to lead to war, you know, for definite. Like, it's like we do, like, it, we find ourselves in a fascinating a fascinating combination of like, it's a new form of warfare that like what the Chinese are known to engage in, or they have that book on it or whatever that Vox mentioned before, the unrestricted warfare, where it's like warfare on all fronts. Now you have lawfare, and like that alone is fucking crazy, where someone's extensive knowledge of how the legal system works is now being used to like systematically like invade you or encroach upon your rights or your well-being, or like or your way of life. But it's not just the lawfare. Like, you still have, like Owen was talking about and Vox was talking about in the last few days with the whole situation in Ukraine. It's like it seems to be the case now that Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, is actually it's just another proxy war, where it's like America and China are like having like an economic tug of war over all sorts of things like manufacturing and oil, and then you get into the situation with the fucking what is it, the semiconductors that are like only created in Taiwan or some shit like, and it's like people ate up um Game of Thrones like it was like fucking slop with crystal meth in it or something, like, do you know what I mean? Like people fucking ate up Game of Thrones and then it like went shit. um it's kind of like it, that's what we're living through right now. I know you could argue that like history has always been that, but like what we are living through right now in this timeline, in this paradigm, is like an insane level of all these huge, like massive scale power dynamic interests that are like shifting and moving, like what Vox has described before as like we are but minnows swimming in the same sea as whales and stuff. And like what are you like I obviously don't have this kind of like defeatist, pessimistic, despair view as the King Theoden in Lord of the Rings, where he's like looking at the Uruk-hai army and he's like, what can one do? What are you supposed to do against such reckless hate? That's actually a really good way to describe the woke, the wokeism, the woke people, is reckless hate. Like it's the irony of ironies, like, do you know what I mean? Hate speech, you're full of hate. It's them who are full of reckless hate. It's them who engage in reckless hate speech and in reckless, hateful behavior, because they have such a lack of self awareness that they don't realize how it is their behavior and their way of thinking that is leading to the utter destruction of everyone's culture, not just one, everyone. Like the Borg, the woke horde is assimilating every culture, every ideology, every philosophy, every way of life into this grey soup under the guise of the opposite. You know, it's like, no, we want everybody. We're inclusive and diverse. It's like the more I describe woke, the more I just think the Borg. You know, it's fucking fascinating. But anyway, um, excellent Christmas, my friend. Hope you and the family are well, and wishing you all well. Best for 2026. Oh, great. It's great to hear. It's great to hear. Yeah, I think this year is going to be pretty fucking awesome. I have a good feeling about it. Struggling with glassing a population with a riv raff rub mug. The fact that I just so happen to be holding it up so that you can like, because I could be like this, but I was holding it like this because like it's nice and warm. That's actually hilarious. Live, laugh, love, and I'm talking about glassing populations. Oh, that's brilliant. That's fucking brilliant, man. Well spotted. Oh fuck. It's 6:05. I need to go. I need to go get ready and make dinner and shit. Oh god. I'm just gonna sign this because like, oh no, fucking one of the teeth has got like pink shit on it. Fuck's sake. Well, I suppose it's not like the missus is here and I have to like adhere to a certain timeline or anything. I'll just stick the tunes back on and go for a little. I want to I want to finish this fucker and we start a new one tomorrow. Oh Jesus. I thought cold coffee was bad. Cold oxtail soup is another level. Ugh, getting it everywhere. I need to give my mustache a trim. It's at that stage now where I'm eating it. You should have seen me try to eat a burger in Supermax the other day. Ugh, fucking hell. It was a massacre. Alright, hang on. It's still kind of warm, so I'm gonna finish this. Dentalux removes pink. Give us 10 more minutes. It'll probably be more than 10 minutes. It'll probably be more than 10 minutes, Emmanuel. Don't worry. I'm gonna stick this on. I'm gonna finish the soup. That is not the one I meant to stick on. I really do, man. Like you hit a fucking nerve with those 7 songs, Nematode. They're really good. They're really good, like. Right, here's the Frozen Hearth one that Stabru like sent me during the stream. I love that. Oh, it's like warm and cold at the same time. Ugh. The duality of soup. Ugh, it's fucking good though. Oh god. It's thick. I'm so glad I bought these things. Fucking amazing. So handy. Yeah, like fucking 3 big, like yeah, a bit, just under 3 like these size mugs out of this. Really good. Oh jeez. Oh, that was a lot of soup in a small amount of time. Oh, it's so much better. Ugh, delicious. Oh, fuck. Fucking oxtail soup all over the place. Right. Need more opacity. Need a drop of the good stuff. That was chill as fuck. Calling it Frozen Hearth. Spot on. I fucking love these, man. These are like really good, like. Okay.
It's in the soul where secrets hide. A little splash, the roots can fight. Leaves grow greener, reaching wide. It's magic, it's science, it's nature's art.
Okay.
From the forest floor to a gardener's heart. Wood vinegar, healing leaves and chasing scars. Wood vinegar makes the earth one with the stars. Keeps the past from calling home. Helps the compost break its throne. Plants are singing, we're not alone. A smoky breath from trees gone by, whispering hope to seas that try. Wood vinegar, healing leaves and chasing scars. Wood vinegar makes the earth one with the stars. Smokes.
Is the opposite of lukewarm Luke cold?
Out in the hollow where the shadows creep, lives a man who tends to the soil's deep sleep, and stained black like the night he hides, turning with a finger blade. He's the turning man, the keeper of decay, brewing life from death in his secret clay, whispering to worms, calling spores to rise. He's the turning man with the spectral lights. Temperatures rise in his steaming heaps. He watches them breathe, he listens, he keeps a cauldron of compost, a witch's brew. What grows from the rot, only he ever knew. Turning it over, the circle's begun. Feeding the dark till it breaks the He's the turning man, keeper of decay, brewing life from death in his secret clay, whispering to worms, calling spores to rise. He's the turning man with his spectral He walks in a mist where no footsteps fall, a shadow of a shadow's no face at all. Fungal fingers weave through his veins, every breath he takes smells like rain. Smells like rain. Turning over and over and. I'm a crop in a cage, sterile field, measured rage. Hands on me, hands on me. Dose after dose just to breathe. Glyphosated. Barren. Gated.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What's Luke backward? And it'd be like cool. So it'd just be cool, like, or cool, cold. That's exactly what I thought. Like, What's the opposite of lukewarm? Luke cold? It'd be like, no, it'd be cool cold. Like,
Everything's restrained. They say it's healing, but I feel the shame. Glyphosated, torn and medicated, barren yet cultivated, gated, overregulated. I'm not growing, I'm complying, roots dissolving, but still surviving. This isn't living, it's maintaining. I am the product you're sustaining. I can't escape the dust. I can't escape the dust. I can't escape glyphosated, barren, gated, oversedated, isolated, cultivated, medication, medication, medication.
I'm trying to give him highlights this time without making him pink.
A perfect place, a perfect home, a simple seal upon the dome. Equal sugar, equal flesh. Hear them breeding and feasting on death. I can feel the squeeze. One amongst the feet. 10 billion mashing teeth. Turn the skin to meat. Osmotic release. How sweet the taste. How sweet the
I think that's the
smell.
psyop of AI, is everyone being like, oh, it's gonna ruin art and all that. No, it made art better. Like, think about how powerful a tool it is for artists. Like sure, like you got all this like AI shit like sucking up all this data and stuff. Like, think about all the new stuff that's gonna be created with it. You know? It's like every time something fucking happens or something comes out, you have all these people who are like, oh no! Weak!
Turn the skin to meat. Osmotic release. Generation after generation, maceration, purification. The sweet release. Sweet release.
Dick Fordu! Is that guitar using a Gagan wah pedal? How is Gagan? Have people been talking to him? I don't see him anymore.
Did you break ground or just tear me apart? Bring life back to my heart. Cover crop, cover me, hold me tight, lay me down, out of sight. Feed the unseen, deep below, layer by layer, generations grow, cover crop. My breath, a sweet song unsung. I feel it shifting. Life has just begun. Rooted in promises, each sprout a thread, a tapestry of life that will never end. Don't let the storm strip me bare. The family we build will anchor.
Got a Christmas card from Gagan. They're good. He's been in the HWB chats. Good, good.
Cover crop, cover me, hold me tight, lay me down, out of sight. Feed the unseen, deep below, layer by layer, generations grow. Black road, white thread, exchange, nothing said. I call raise up, move, I call raise up. Symbiotic, we're provided. everything. I woke a morning with jars of care, life in my hands and the soil to share. White threads weaving through a forest of black. The dance of the small things bring fertility back. Collect the life, let it thrive, spread it out, multiply. I am all. These are some choir faded roots, sparking fire. Rise in the box left under the trees. Bacteria feast, they do as they please. A snowy coat, a white sea breeze. Nature's recipe, nature's ease. Collect the life, let it thrive, spread it out, multiply. I am all. These are some choir feeders, sparking fire.
Painting. Goo, goo, goo.
Life and soil, the breath of decay, a whisper of fungi, they lead the way. Micro worlds rise like a secret hymn, a symphony sung on the forest wind. Stir it slowly, alchemy flows. Grateful hands where the wild things grow. Mix the life with the earth below. I'm all it knows, it knows. Collect the life, let it thrive. Spread it out, multiply. I'm all. The earth's on choir, feeding roots. Sparking fire.
Oh, sumimasen. Painting. Goo, goo, goo.
It's a recipe written in the stars and the ground. A magic circle where life spins round. Life and water, vinegar and care. We become the earth.
the last of them. Those 7 songs are such a vibe. Absolute vibe. Right, okay. He is done. I'm just in timer for our goodbye tune. Want him to come back, miss that old codger. I don't know why he left in the first place. Like, just being a fucking grump. That's all he was. He used to check his ego. Never met a man that old but still had a bit of ego in him. Like, I think the lame part of AI music is if people try to play it off like it's not AI. Yeah, definitely. These is largely AI written. I tuned the chorus to someone catchy. That's it. Fun slot machine music. Yeah, like if you try and play it off like it's not AI, then definitely, yeah, like you're being like, it'd be like somebody asked me one time. Well, I suppose it's actually the opposite. I remember somebody asked me if one of my symmetricals was a digital print. And I was like, no, that's like me. I can get it that sharp looking. The more input you give it, the better the final product is. Yeah, which is cool as fuck, because that means the more human in it, the better it gets. Which is like, all AI is basically just like a little helper, you know? Seriously, the gun analogy is perfect, you know? We used to throw spears at things, now we shoot them with guns. We used to like program things and like design things, you know, with code and digital and all this fucking shit. Now it's way easier and way quicker because now we have like what would you call it? A consolidation of code that creates its own code automatically. That's essentially what, like, because we don't even have artificial intelligence. It's not AI. It's not artificial intelligence. It's not intelligent. It's just a fairly advanced digital software. You know, like that's all it fucking is. Like, I'm not trying to downplay what it is, but at the same time, like we kind of should downplay what it is because this whole nonsense of like AI is getting out of hand and all. It's like, fuck off. It's not even AI. Like, oh, excuse me. True, and just repeated trial and error. It's funny, lots of my music now keeps sounding Asian. Wants to toss in Shinobu for no reason. That's hilarious. Shinobui. Yeah, it definitely learns your tastes. Yeah, because they already had stuff like algorithms and shit. So like, it's just it's like a really advanced pattern recognition. What would you call it? Software. My next goal is to make a cohesive album of metal or whatever genre I am into at the time. Yeah, definitely. That'd be fucking class. Vibes to the max. Indeed. Right, where's the hilarious fucking like... Where's the outro? Yeah, here we go. Morning metal, prog symphonic. Here we go.
I hope you've enjoyed today's painting.
I love this. Right.
I enjoyed painting for you.
I will see you tomorrow.
And talking a load of shite.
Fucking state me.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you haven't paid for painting,
I love that is in it.
and your ancestors will shame you from the great beyond and turn in their grave and show you their ass and fart at you. I hope you've enjoyed today's painting. I enjoyed painting for you. And fucking philosophizing and talking a load of shit. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you haven't paid for painting, pay for painting, or you have no honor, and your ancestors will shame you from the great beyond and turn in their grave and show you their ass
and fart at you. Oh, it's hilarious. Right. Much love. I'll see you. I need to keep like fucking look at the black hole. Right. Painting goo 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 goo. Be back 4 p.m. tomorrow. Be there. Don't be a fag. Pay for painting goo.
I hope you've enjoyed today's painting, Goo. I enjoyed painting for you. And fucking philosophizing and talking a load of shit. I hope you enjoyed.
Sayonara, my beloved Japonator.
If you haven't paid for painting, Goo, pay for painting, Goo. Or you have no honor.